Hey guys, so I know it's been a long time since I brought a remote duel video, so here's finally a new one where I go up against Numeron Eldlich Dragoon. This was the final round in locals and I finished 3rd place out of 17 people, so nothing fantastic. So here's a quick glance at the deck list that I used in this match, and keep in mind that this was before Blazing Vortex came out, so let's get right into it. And of course, we are going second. So our opponent is going to start off with the Cursed Elden. It's a little hard to see with that angle, but he's going to use it to pay 800 life points and add a Eldritch card. And he's going to add the Conquistador. Next, he's going to discard the Conquistador with the Golden Lord so that he can send the Cursed Elden on the field to the grave, and then Elden will trigger and he'll be able to send the Aquero to the grave. Next, he normal summons Planet Pathfinder, so at this point I started getting a little worried of what's going to come next. So he does use the effect, Tribute the Pathfinder, and he's going to be able to activate the Numeron Network. And with Network, he's going to be able to send the Numeron Calling from deck to grave as cost. And he's going to be able to summon out the 3 Numeron Wall Monsters, and then overlay that into Utopic Zexal. Very fun card. So now he's just gonna banish the Conquistador, and he will be able to put the Scarlet Sanguine, and he's just gonna pass turn there. So I draw for turn now. I already had the Forbidden Droplet in hand, so I was feeling pretty good here. So on standby, he is going to shotgun Utopic Zexal's effect to make it so that I can't activate cards for the turn. But of course, I do have that Forbidden Droplet, which is coming very clutch in a matchup like this. And as cost, I'm going to send the Cyber Emergency because I already had another Cyber Emergency in hand. And so we do successfully resolve that, and so Utopic Zexal is negated, and I am still going to be able to play out this turn. So next, I am going to activate my other emergency that I already had in hand, and so I'm just going to add the core from deck to hand. Next, I am going to normal summon the core, use its effect to search. And I am actually going to add the ref system because I am trying to go for the kill this turn, and just in case I get Nibiru'd, I do want to have a contingency plan and be able to push through still. Next, I am going to activate Machine Dupe targeting the core, and we're going to bring out the 2 Cyber Dragons. Then we are going to overlay, go into Nova, and so on the summon of Nova, looks like our opponent is going to activate Scarlet Sanguine and special out the Golden Lord. Next, I'm going to link off the core, go into All Mirage, use Nova's effect, detach Cyber Dragon as cost, and I'm just going to bring back the same Cyber Dragon. Then I'm just going to go into Infinity, and then we'll link off the Cyber Dragon and All Mirage, go into Anaconda, activate Anaconda's effect, pay cost, pay 2000 life points, and send the Red Eyes Fusion. And it looks like our opponent just concedes here because he knows that I'll be able to pop and burn and then, well, attack for game. So, on to game 2. Okay, so on to game 2, and our opponent does choose to go first, not too surprising. So our opponent is going to start off with the Planet Pathfinder as always, going to tribute that off, and he'll get the Numeron Network, and with the network it's going to send the Numeron Calling as cost. So he'll bring out the 3 Numeron monsters, and just stack them for the Utopic Zexal. Next, looks like he sets 2, and passes turn. So, on standby, he is gonna shotgun the Utopic Zexal again, and unfortunately I don't have the Forbidden Droplet this time around, so I really can't do much this turn. So I'm just gonna set a Cosmic Cyclone and set a core, and just pass turn there. And on end phase, looks like he's gonna activate Scarlet Sanguine, and he's gonna bring out the Golden Lord. So he's gonna switch Utopic Zexal into attack mode, he's gonna enter battle, and attack over my core. And he'll attack directly with the Golden Lord, and he passes turn there. So for standby phase, our opponent is going to activate Zexal yet again, and still no Forbidden Droplet, so I'm kind of stuck here and can't really do much other than trying to stall. So I can't do much, so I'm just going to set another monster, which was Naxter, and just pass turn there. On end phase, he is going to banish the Sanguine and set the Conquistador. So he is going to activate the Conquistador. He's going to link that into a Link Spider. And then he's going to link off the Golden Lord and the Link Spider and go into Predaplant Vertigo Anaconda. So now at this point I'm like, oh great, I have to deal with Zexal and a Dragoon. So he is going to pay cost, pay 2000 life points, send that Red Eyes Fusion. And he will be able to bring out the Dragoon. So with Dragoon's effect, he's going to destroy my Naxter, and I do take the 200 damage. And so he's gonna enter a battle phase and attack with all three for 4,500. So I'm still in this with just 800 life points left, and he's gonna pass turn. And at this point I'm telling myself, okay, the only card that can save me is Forbidden Droplet, and if I draw it, I would actually be able to win this turn because I do have the Red Eyes Fusion in hand. So he is gonna shotgun the Zexal, and I actually did draw the Forbidden Droplet, so it was actually so crazy. So now in response to Zexal's effect, initially I try to activate the Cosmic Cyclone first as Chain Link 2 because in my head I was going to send it off as cost as part of Forbidden Droplet, so I wanted to chain it afterwards. But of course I am at 800 life points, so I do quickly realize that afterwards and I quickly fix that. And so anyways, at this point I am chaining the Forbidden Droplet, and I'm going to send the Core and the Cyclone as cost, and I send the Core because I want to make sure that I send the monster as cost so that he cannot respond with Dragoon. And of course this is where I realized I couldn't actually activate the Cyclone, so basically it's sort of the same as just me sending it as cost while the Cyclone was set. So now that does resolve, so that means Zexal and Dragoon are negated, and I do have the Red Eyes Fusion, so in my head I'm just looking to pop and burn Dragoon and then attack over Zexal because it would be at 0 attack and just attack for game. But first I am going to activate the Lightning Storm just to take care of that back row, and it looks like it's a Call by the Grave actually. So he banishes the Core, or at least that's what I thought. He said the Core, but what he actually meant was to banish the Naxxer. So now I am going to try to activate the Red Eyes Fusion to try to go for that kill, but unfortunately it is met by the Ash. That was super painful. I mean, I really thought I had it with that top deck Forbidden Droplet, but unfortunately that really stops my play, and we just scoop there. Alright, so on to game 3, and I actually decided to go first because I really hate going up against Zexal, and I hate having to rely solely on Forbidden Droplet and drawing that card to be able to actually have a chance to win. So I'm not taking any chances, and I am just going to go first. So I am going to start off by normal summoning the Hertz, and I'm going to activate the Machine Duke because I just draw really well today. Unfortunately, it is met by an Ash, so that's not great. So I'm just going to link off that Hertz, go into Almirage, I'm going to activate Hertz's effect, and we are going to add the Cyber Dragon from deck to hand. Next, we're just going to activate that Rev system, bring back the Hertz. We're going to link those two off, go into Anaconda, and we're going to activate Anaconda's effect, pay cost, and our opponent is going to just chain Numeron Wall at this point so that he can activate the Numeron Network. So I'm just going to send the Red Eyes and Dark Magician, and our opponent put out the Numeron Network there, and we'll bring out the Dragoon. So we're just going to pass turn there. Our opponent is going to activate the effect of Numeron Network, and I do decide to negate and destroy that with Dragoon. So our opponent is going to start off by normal summoning the Planet Pathfinder yet again. So our opponent was supposed to send the Numeron Calling as cost earlier when he activated the effective network, so he's just doing that right now. So he's going to enter battle phase, and he's going to attack over Anaconda with the Pathfinder. Then main phase 2, he's going to tribute off the Pathfinder. I am going to Ash that, but he does have the Call by the Grave, unfortunate. And he's going to activate the Numeron Network. Next, he's just going to set 2 and pass turn. So I don't have much of a play, so I'm just going to enter battle and attack with Dragoon. Pass turn there, and then end phase, he is going to activate the Conquistador, and he is also going to bring out the Haquero as well. Now off the top, our opponent does top deck the Cursed Eldland, and I let this through, but in hindsight I really probably should have negated the activation. That way the Cursed Eldland effect doesn't trigger to send a golden land from deck to grave. And at the time I was just very worried of what he might be able to bring out after he resolves the Numeron Network, so that's why I kind of saved out on negating it. So he's going to activate Cursed Eldland, pay 800, and he's going to add the Golden Lord. Next, he overlays the Conquistador and Haquero, and then goes into Constellar Pleiades. And then he's going to use Pleiades effect, and he's going to try to bounce back the Cursed Eldland back to hand. And this is where I realized I was just a step behind, because if I let him get that Cursed Eldland back to hand, then he'll be able to discard it with Golden Lord, and then he'll be able to try to send my Dragoon, in which point I'm forced to negate there, and he'd be able to bring out the Golden Lord from grave. So I do negate and destroy by pitching off the Naxxer, because I'm kind of forced to at this point, and to get rid of the Pleiades. The opponent is going to use the effect of Numeron Network, send the Numeron Calling as cost. He's going to bring out the 3 Numeron monsters. and he's gonna link those 3 off for the Mega Clops. Now luckily for me, Dragoon is at 5,000 right now, so Mega Clops can't just beat over it because Mega Clops cannot be destroyed by battle, so if we were the same attack, he still would have been able to get over the Dragoon. So in end phase, he's gonna banish the Hakuero and the Conquistador and set 2 Scarlet Sanguines and pass turn there. Now for turn, unfortunately, I don't have any Cyber Dragon monsters in hand, otherwise I would have been able to easily get rid of the Mega Clops, but I did pitch that Naxxer because I wanted to keep the Skullmeister in hand just in case, and for turn, I believe I drew Ghost Spell. So I don't have much to do, so I just decide to attack over the Mega Clops just to poke for that extra 1,000. Of course, Mega Clops will not be destroyed because it cannot be destroyed by battle. Now in end phase, he is going to activate the Scarlet Sanguine, and I am just going to Ghost Spell that and negate it. So he's going to activate Cursed Eldland again, and he's going to add something. I can't quite make it out at this point. I can't remember what he added, to be honest with you. So he's just going to set and pass turn. So off the top, we finally draw some kind of extender. So we draw the Foolish Burial, which works just fine. So we're going to send the Hertz to grave, and using Hertz's effect, we're going to add the Naxxer from grave to hand. Next, we're going to normal summon the Naxxer, use its effect. We're going to special out the Cyber Dragon, and we are locked into machines at this point, but it doesn't matter. So then we're just going to contact fuse away the Mega Clops, go into Mega Fleet, and then just enter battle and then attack for game. Alright guys, so that was down to the wire and we needed all of the time that we had, but luckily I did pull that off. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and take care.